It's dawn. The moon is still up. And it is cold this morning. It's in the teens. It is very cold. But anyway, with the near full moon, it's solar period don't start until I think 9 o'clock. I'll have to look and see. It'll depend on the early morning, not normal movement, but with it cold, the rut, and the early morning normal movement, plus the solar period coming on here still in about mid-morning, I would expect to see a deer movement today. I can assure you one thing. My buddy heater picked a cold morning to quit working. Coldest morning all season. The ratted thing just quit working. That thing's been a little bit temperamental all its life, I reckon. Out in Colorado in elk camp, all of us packed in there, and everybody's got their own little sleeping tent, That thing would quit working. You couldn't get it to start working for hours, and all of a sudden it'd start. It'd run a little while and quit. Everybody else's worked just fine. I actually think it's got a goofy low oxygen sensor in it that shuts itself off. I think that's what it's done, but I don't know. Then I fool around with it here and trying to get the pilot light lit back on it. Put a new tank of gas on it. Trying to get a pilot lit, and also whoop, leaking gas somewhere too. So yeah, turned it off. Got over at the barn, and I got one of these, what do you call them, heaters? What do you call this thing? Whatever, it sits on top of your tank. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, it works. At least I got some heat out here. The sun has been working its way down this hill for, oh Lordy, over an hour. It's several minutes away from getting on the Quigley yet. My goodness, if you're sitting there on a cold morning, you can watch that sun, creeping down towards you. It seems like it just puts the brakes on. The colder it is, the slower the sun comes down that ridge. But once the sun actually starts hitting the Quigley, it makes a big difference in here with all the glass around. Right now I'm sort of looking for deer and a whole bunch looking for the sun. I might be getting old, you reckon? In a previous video, I think it's called 2 classic deer rifles. One of them featured in that video is this one. This is a Savage 99 and 300 Savage. And in that video, I said that one of the goals was to take a deer with each one of those rifles. One with this Savage 99 and the other Winchester 94 30-30. Daggone. The sun finally got down here on the Quigley. And that ratted buddy heater started working again. It's got to be that darn oxygen depletion sensor in it thinks it. Oh. Something wrong with it. Anyway, it'll shut down right out of clear blue. It'll shut down. And well, once it does, you can't hardly get it started back. I had to wait way over an hour and a half. Tried it and it started again. But the sun is finally on here warming it up a bit. It is much more pleasant in here than it was a little while ago. The turkeys completely across the big hill up here. The 3 regular does are still in the food plot. Solar period is, let's see, it's been going for, 20 minutes. And it is a minor period, so it'll go for an hour and a half. 20 minutes. So anyway, we're into it. And there's game moving. At any rate, I finally did get a deer with this beautiful Savage 99. It took me long enough. I've actually had this thing 10 years. Three deer up here on top of the hill. One of them is just out of range that I would want to shoot this thing. I'll comfortably take up to 150 yard shot with it. No problem whatsoever with these sights. It would do better than that, but when you get much further than 150 yards, the front bead just covers up too much target. But it's primarily set up for woods hunting, 100 yards or less, but out to 150 yards, there's no sweat whatsoever. And it sure did, it sure took down that little antlerless deer the other day. Sure took it down. But anyway, that's another I can chalk off. Finally got a deer with it. It is a fine rifle. Now I've got my 94 30-30 that I've had for 20 years that I've never taken a deer with. The only thing I've ever taken with that 94 has been a groundhog. Of course, my wife, she took a nice elk with it, but I haven't taken a deer with it and had it 20 years. So I got to remedy that this year. I've had one rifle I've had 20 years that I personally have never taken a deer with. And another one here that I've had 10 years I've never taken a deer with. But I can chalk that one off now. I have taken a deer with it. But I have a few 99s, and this is the only one that I had that hadn't taken a deer with. So now, now it's no longer a birch. I've not seen a single deer at all until about 3 or 4 minutes before the solar period's supposed to start. They pop out of the woods and come right down to the food plot, start feeding right as the sowing period is starting. And 6 turkeys. Six turkeys come out at the same time. 6 turkeys and 3 deer come out as the sowing period starts. Hadn't seen a thing all morning. Till then, well, take that back. I thought did see some turkeys over on the other hill a bit earlier. The rifle that I'm covering the fields out here in the Quigley this morning with is a Ruger #1 International, which is my all-time favorite deer rifle. It's in 7.57 or 7mm Mauser, and it is my lucky rifle. Generally, if I take it, something goes down. That doe or antlerless deer that I got the other day with that Savage 99 EG that I had never taken a deer with, I had this one with me. It even brought enough luck to rub off on that other rifle. I used the other rifle because I wanted to, like I said, I had 2 rifles, a Savage 99 300 Savage and a Winchester 94, frog in my throat. Winchester 94 and 30-30. I'd never gotten a deer with, so I got a deer with that 99 300. Now I got the 94 yet to go. But so we'll see what kind of luck this rascal here brings again. There is what is a legal deer but I don't want to take it up there on a couple of them. I got the sights right on. Let's go Leopold Dot Reddick on it. Yeah. Top floating around all over the chest. Just pull the trigger and they'd go home with me. Will have to be a lot better deer than that. I think me aiming at them, they got a little nervous. They leaving the field. Yeah. They are leaving the field. They are leaving right where the very spot that I shot that good buck the other day up on top of the hill. They're right there. That's a good place for them to cross, a popular place for them to cross. Now here comes one out from that very spot. Huh. Now it's not feeding, it's acting a bit nervous. It come out of the field on the other woods on one side. Went all the way across that field. I was ready to jump the fence on this side into the woods on this side. Came out of the woods on that side, crossed over the field. Now it's going into the woods on this side. There comes another one. Out the woods. Following this one. Nothing that, oh shoot. Boy, they're pretty slick as glass. Sleek, pretty dear. Mama going through the fence there. She crawled under the fence. Whitey in the upper corner of the picture there. Whitey come down and follow Mama here in just a minute. Those two stick together like glue. But Whitey is a cautious little rascal. There she comes. There she comes. She's going to follow Mama down here and across that fence. Well, now where baby sister is, I don't know. You got to show up eventually. I mean, cause it. Whoop! That hit the one that's missing there is this year's fawn. That was Mama that just went in to the woods. And here comes a doe that stays with her. This doe's at least 3, maybe 4 years old. And it's been with its mama that whole time. I've never seen this. Where she went. I've never seen her. She's never had a fawn. But she stayed with her mama. Mama will raise a fawn, and that fawn will leave, and she'll raise another one, and that will leave, but Whitey stayed with her. Well, the solar period started at 9:03 to be exact, and ended at 10:33. The first deer showed up about 3 minutes before the solar period supposedly started, and they left about 5 minutes after it ended. There were deer out and turkeys out the whole time, but they've all left, so I will go home for a while. I'll go back to the house a while. Probably come back this afternoon. I couldn't get the camera on him in time, but it's a pretty good buck. He was up there making a scrape and licking French. Where I can get on him. He just chased another deer off. I'm not sure what it was. There's the two of them, the buck and the doe, in the same good 6 or 8. corner, but the better buck left. That's not the good buck. That buck actually just bedded down right there in the field with that doe right down below him in the food plot. That buck that was bedded up there, he stayed bedded until this doe came down. Now here he comes. I don't know where they're going. They're going to the woods there. It's the crack of dawn on the 12th day of the rifle season. It's day 12 of a 14-day season. Two more days to go. With 2 more days to go, I've already tagged out in bucks. I've gotten 2 good bucks. We're allowed 3 does, of which I normally, most years, all I ever shoot is the 2 bucks. I've only taken, as best I can think of, 4 does in my life, including one that I took the other day. So we're allowed 3 does. And I've taken one, and I think I was going to try to get another one, but not here at this farm. We just don't have enough deer right in this immediate area, but there's a farm that belongs to one of my buddy's nephews up the roadways that they want to get rid of a lot of the deer. So probably go up there and try to get another doe, maybe tomorrow. If I do, I'm going to try to get it with my Winchester 94 30-30 that I haven't had for, oh God, 20 years and never shot at a deer with it, ever. Only thing I ever shot with it was one groundhog. My wife took a very nice, really nice 6x7 bull elk with it, but I've never taken a deer with it, so I'll probably take it. But today I'm just going to sit out here and look around, see what all I can see. And of course I've got a rifle here with me, in case I see a coyote or something like that. But we won't be shooting at any deer. But I do want to watch and see what transpires here this morning. Yesterday afternoon, look out, and there was a nice buck or 2 roaming the fields yesterday afternoon, so just sit out here and look around, sip on coffee, and enjoy the morning. Well, the sun's getting ready to come up over the mountain, but as it starts to come up over this ridge over here, it'll hit the top of the mountain up here, which it still hasn't hit it yet, but it takes it nearly an hour and a half to get down here so quickly. But anyway, I'm talking about 30-30 and trying to get it, maybe trying to get a deer with it, so, or doe with it. So I've got my buck tags are filled, and I've got a couple of doe tags left, and one of the deer. One of the things that I wanted to do this year, I had a couple of rifles, a Savage 99 and 300 Savage, that I'd owned that one for about 10 years and never took a deer with it. And I've had this Winchester 94 for 20 years and I've never taken a deer with it. So I wanted to remedy that situation. I wanted to take a deer and probably be a doe with each one of those. Well, I've got the deer with the Savage 99, So I want to take one with this one now. Now, you go over my little bit of involvement with the Winchester 94 3030. Without being too long, as a kid, just a kid, I mean 6, 7, 8 years old, I thought the only gun anybody'd ever need was the Winchester 3030. You know, watching the westerns and all that stuff, you know, and buying hunting magazines that were mostly pictures when I was so young I couldn't even read. Buy the magazines was what little bit of money I had. And of course back then things were changed. I mean, a lot different. There was a lot of stuff with the Winchester 94. And why in the world would anybody ever want or need any gun other than a Winchester 3030? That was beyond me. Why would anybody ever need anything but a Winchester 94 3030? Well, when I grew up and going to go buy my first big game rifle, I had made the mistake of beginning to study ballistics. And, you know, I realized, you know, I'm going to get one gun here with my hard-earned $60, and the Winchester 3030, iron sighted Winchester 3030, little lever action carbine here is just not, probably don't fit the bill as the perfect all-around gun. So I bought a bolt action 30-06. So my first rifle was a bolt action 30-06 because it just would do more than what this could do. So that rocks on a while. A few years later, I put together a few more dollars, and I thought, I'm going to buy me another rifle. And well, at 30-06, that's a pretty good sized caliber, so I need something smaller that would serve as a deer and farming gun too. So I bought another bolt action, which Remington 700 243, and that set the pattern. So over the years, every time I'd go and want to buy another gun for a special purpose or something, I always bought something besides the only gun anybody ever needed, the 94 30-30. I started out wanting one when I was 6 years old, and it was 60 before I bought one. So, sun just now hit the top of the mountain up there, and it's cold in this Quigley this morning. But I know it'll be at least an hour and 20 minutes before the sun gets down here. So I'll keep the heater going. But anyway, I bought one. I wanted one when I was 6. Now 60 before I got one. And the only thing I've ever taken with it was a groundhog. I took a groundhog, and I enjoyed carrying it around the farm and busting this and that and the other, shooting this and that and the other, but I'd never taken anything but a groundhog. And my wife took a great 6x7 bull elk with it. So she did a fantastic job. She hit it twice. You know, elk are funny. They're not like a whitetail. You shoot a whitetail, and that rascal's going to take off 90 as fast as he can go. But I found that a huge percentage of the elk that I shoot, if they're walking, they stop, and if they're standing there, they just walk off. And they're not like a whitetail. Anyway, she hit this one, and it didn't run or anything. It just walked off a few steps and turned again, offered her actually the same shot again, only about 10 yards further out. And so she shot again and took a few steps and fell over. Well, she had hit it twice. Both shots were heart shots. She hit it in the heart both times. And she was 70 years old at the time. The only thing she ever hunted. Anyway, quite a gal. Anyway, she got a nice elk with this rifle. Like I said, one of my goals for this season is to get a deer with this rifle. So I'm going to go out with my buddy Jerry up a farm that's got a lot more deer than I've got. A lot more does than I've got. There's not a lot of does or deer right in this vicinity for some reason or other. But just up the road and just out of the way, there's farms that's got a lot of does, and so I'm gonna go up to one of these farms that's got a lot of does, and I'm gonna do my best to get a deer with this, the Winchester 94. That as a kid, I thought that's the only gun anybody would ever need for anything. And it is a great little rifle. I absolutely love the rifle, but I've never shot anything with it. So I'm going to remedy that. And it is it's a beautiful rifle. I've got a Lyman number 2 peep sight on it. It's a good one. And pleasure to carry. My goodness, it just don't get any more comfortable to carry around than a Winchester 94. So I'm going to hunt tomorrow, maybe even the next day. I'm going to give it at least 1 or 2 days. Let this little fella do what it's designed to do. If there's ever such a thing as a perfect woods rifle, this is pretty much it. Even though when I hunt tomorrow, and it's not going to be so much woods, but I'll be hunting around some fields at the edge of the woods. So, yeah. But irregardless, this little fella's going hunting tomorrow. Right now, it's just sitting out here with me in the Quigley while I can handle it and just enjoy it, just sitting out here. Who knows? I might even be lucky enough for a coyote to come by close enough within range. Uh-oh, that wouldn't work. I didn't bring any ammo with me for this thing. Go back to the house. I just brought it out here to handle and fool around with a little bit. Get to watching these fields. There's no solar period, by the way. We're right in the middle. I mean, the rut is full blown. Matter of fact, I think it probably just peaked a day or so ago, but we're still right in the high point of the rut. A lot of rutting activity yesterday afternoon, but here it is, that prime feeding time of daylight. I have yet to see a deer in these fields, not one. Not one, because there is no solar period. Solar period don't start until 10 o'clock. So that's another reason I'm out here, just keep track and keep recording what's happening as far as, is there a solar period or is there no solar period? And there is no solar period right now. And there's no deer activity either. Don't surprise me now. Well, I'm going to try a shot here to kind of, I'm going to hunt with this little 30-30 tomorrow. I'm just going to try a shot of, set up on a rock out there about the distance I expect to get a shot tomorrow. So I'm going to try it Hit or miss. See what happens here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Where's my muffs? Put some earmuffs on here. Alright. Here we go. Hit or miss. I don't know what it looks like in here, but rock ain't there no more. So, deer come up about that distance tomorrow. It certainly ought to be in trouble. I checked the zero on this a while back. The summer made video on it too, but I just wanted to double check to make sure nothing's going awry. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. It's actually very nice and very relaxing to know you've already got $2. Actually, you already filled your buck tags. Now you're just sitting out here, kind of just enjoying the evening. It's a pleasant. It's warmed up to where it's pleasant. I mean, it's pleasant here in the shirt sleeve. And there's a solar period going on right now. It's a little bit. It's about an hour too early. It ends about an hour before the late afternoon movement period should start. But there was no movement this morning to speak of. I saw one little buck. My buddy Jerry up there normally has lots of deer. Said he saw 5 does, and that's all he saw all morning. So it's nice to sit around here and look and enjoy the afternoon and do a little plinking like I just did. I'll meet Jerry up Avenue. Yeah, ain't no sense going too early. Probably get to meet him up there about 8:30. We'll go out to one of his stands and just sit around and shoot the bull and maybe even shoot a couple of does. We'll find out. But right now, I'm just going to sit around and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Nice, beautiful, pleasant afternoon. Got the windows open. Nothing moving. Nobody else has seen anything either. one guy, one of my buddies just finally saw a buck. 4-point. My wife just came in from visiting Gary's wife. She said a little spike across the driveway down here in front of her. And there's been almost no movement today. Everybody's wondering if they went to, all the deer packed up, went to the beach for a few days. God, they've done something. Lots and lots of rutting activity there for a while, then poop, right off. Huh. Well, finally the regulars come out. Huh. These two are not my regulars, meaning Whitey, baby sister, and mom. These are two matured does that I've probably seen them before, but not lately. Not when I could definitely count which deer is which. And Whitey, baby sister, and mom just went into the woods to the left, for the western woods, and these just came out in the food plot. There's another one over to the east. Deer coming out like crazy right now. Actually, I thought those two right there were does, but they're little bucks with about 1 inch horns. Both of them. They're little twins. I mean, their horns aren't over 1 inch long. The only way I saw them, I looked through the spotting scope. I honestly thought they were does, but they're not. They're little bucks. Those two little bucks were feeding down here closer to the Quigley. And all of a sudden they threw up their tails and went flying up there through that gate on up the hill. You know, there were deer out in several of the fields. I just looked at my phone on the sonar table. Sonar period just ended, and every deer in every one of these fields left. I've got exactly 1 hour of shooting hour light left. So right now, with exactly 1 hour of shooting light left, like I said, the major solar period just ended. I mean, just ended. And they did. Every deer in all 3 fields left. When normally you'd be expecting them to come out, you know, that last hour. Why? They were out during the solar period. And when the solar period ended, they've all left.